A Stone Cold Steve Austin return match is being discussed for WrestleMania 38. Plus, a top Impact star is now a free agent, and released NXT talent is getting inducted into the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. It's all in the wrestling news right now. If you'd like to see one more match for Stone Cold Steve Austin, give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
I like what you did there. That's the thing that Austin does. Can you do middle fingers on the YouTube? Or
well, it was backwards. Oh no, I asked Ross and he said it was fine.
Middle fingers are okay. There's a middle finger to you. That's what he did that time. Stone Cold Steve Austin in the news this morning. So we are long overdue one more Steve Austin match. Steve Austin himself has said on numerous occasions that he's quite happy being done. I feel like he may have changed his mind. Ooh. So Fightful Select and Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer both reporting this morning that a match for Stone Cold Steve Austin is being discussed for this year's WrestleMania, taking place in Arlington, Texas at the AT&T Stadium. This is going to be potentially Austin's first match since 2003.
Wow. I remember watching that WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
That's how quickly time flies.
It's horrible when you're having fun. Fightful have had a range of responses from WWE sources, some assuming the match will happen, and some being quite coy about the idea of the match being happen. Fightful say that even if it's not a match, there'll be a physical role at the very least for Steve Austin at WrestleMania. So back in 2003, he retired due to neck injuries that stem from that pile driver he took at SummerSlam 97. He never quite recovered from that, and it took him a while to kind of get over the fact that his wrestling career was done. He stayed sort of in the wrestling world through co-GM with Eric Bischoff that time, Sheriff Steve Austin, numerous times where he just pop up and drop people on that stack of dimes they call a neck, and hosting the Broken Skull sessions on Peacock and the WWE Network. PW insiders say the idea pitched previously was to have Austin return and compete in Texas as a one-time send-off in front of a massive crowd. The idea that Austin's involvement would help boost WrestleMania ticket sales, as the company needs to move in the area of 200,000 tickets to sell both nights at AT&T. Even if he doesn't wrestle, WWE has always planned and intended for Austin to be part of WrestleMania in some fashion. As of today, he is still yet to commit to wrestling, but it's leaning.
It's leaning in that direction.
Who would his opponent be, Andrew?
Well, let me tell you this. So, it has been stated by Fightful Select and Wrestling Observer saying that it could very well be the other Stunner Machine himself, big Kevin Owens. That's the one. It's Kevin Owens. Not Boa, Kevin Owens.
Oh, if only it was Boa.
If only.
Austin Boa is just too much money for the company to handle. Yeah, so Kevin Owens. No plans for WrestleMania for Big Kev so far.
No, and this is the thing. Like, I feel like perhaps we are moving towards this being the idea then.
He signed a big money deal to stay in WWE. We talked extensively late last year about whether he would stay or whether he would go, and he signed just at the end of the year. And there's been numerous sources saying that a potential Austin match has been in talks since January.
Wow.
Do you think, speculation hat, do you think that they might have said to Kev, hey, I tell you what, Steve Austin at WrestleMania.
It's a big send-off for him.
Fancy it?
I think absolutely. I think that's part of it. Obviously, Kevin Owens has spoken in the past. He says it's the best for his family to stay with WWE and whatnot as well, with the money and everything, and that is absolutely fair enough. I think that's a perfectly good reason to stay with WWE. However, I do feel like they pitched him some big ideas as well to keep him firmly within their realms.
And no idea comes bigger than facing Steve Austin at WrestleMania.
Stunner off.
It's asking for trouble.
It is.
In the best possible way. So a few other hints that this is going to be a thing. There was fans on social media pointed this out. Eagle-eyed fans on socials remind us that Steve Austin had a ring installed at the Broken Skull Ranch over the summer. Just putting that out there. and earlier this month, WWE filed a trademark for Stunner Sunday for, quote, use for a show about professional wrestling. I can hear in my head already Michael Cole screaming Stunner Sunday on the second night of WrestleMania.
Oh my goodness.
As clips of Austin hitting Stunners play throughout, and he's like, what an ultimate Stunner Sunday!
Just a montage.
Yeah. And also Kevin Owens finishing being the Stunner.
I like that as well. I think that would be a good way, if this is to be WWE Stone Cold sort of send off for him to then pass on the stunner officially to Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
I would like to see that happen.
That'd be quite nice. Yeah. Obviously, this hasn't been announced, signed, sealed, or delivered by WWE at this point, but when we know more about it, you will know more. Stone Cold Steve Austin making a return match. At least it's being discussed for WrestleMania 38. Other news to let you know about 2 other stories before we let you go. Josh Alexander, this is a weird one. So Josh Alexander got taken out of Team Impact in their match against No More Honor. Yeah. And Josh Alexander's been like the hottest commodity, the hottest homegrown commodity for Impact. Like he had that amazing bit with Moose, where he held the title for 2 minutes and got battered. And I kind of feel like we've been telling this story of like the trials of Josh Alexander.
Absolutely, yeah.
With the lead to get us back there. But Josh Alexander tweeted last night, "Today my contract expired and subsequently also my US work visa. Unfortunately, as I will not be able to honour my commitments to both Terminus and AMLW later this month. I'm disappointed and sorry. Hopefully I'll have everything in order soon." So now, I originally thought, okay, it's a work,
That's
bro.
what I thought as well.
It's a work, bro.
Yeah.
His Impact contract expired, bro. But then he's announced, like, I'm missing shows.
This is so unfortunate as well, because as you were saying, he was having such a good run in Impact too, and I think we were very much creeping up to the point where he was going to get the belt back, and then unfortunately this has happened. But hopefully everything can get worked out as soon as possible.
I have to believe that this is like a massive oversight from Impact, because Josh Alexander was one of those guys that was absolutely storming.
And do you know what? We were talking about him all the time as well, and how much how good he has been recently too. Like, he is a huge commodity for Impact Wrestling, and just don't lose him. Don't lose him. He's a huge star. Don't lose him.
We'll end on this one. Talking of huge stars that have been lost, Samoa Joe was released again from WWE.
He was.
Again. Last year. Joe is being honoured by Ring of Honor. He's going into the ROH Hall of Fame in a few months' time. Joe shared a tweet simply saying, "Honoured," joining the Briscoes and Bryan Danielson in the inaugural ROH HOF. One more inductee to come next week, actually. Great. It's going to be.
It's going to be, right? It's got to be.
It's going to be. I'm so happy Joe's going in.
Me too.
First ballot as far as I was concerned.
I think as well. I think Danielson, Joe and Punk were like the ones that everybody was talking about when this got announced as well, and it just makes so much sense. Like, Joe very much just solidified himself, I think, in Ring of Honor, and that's where a lot of people, I think, knew him from as well.
I remember as a wrestling fan, sort of discovering wrestling again, like hearing about Samoa Joe's title reign, like 2 years as ROH champion in the modern era, like doing what Roman Reigns is doing now. But Joe was doing it like in the early noughties, and just a force of nature.
Absolutely.
We do Desert Island Graps on the channel, asking wrestlers and the like to choose 3 wrestling matches they would watch while stranded on a desert island. You were a guest on that. You know how this works. The amount of people that have put down Samoa Joe versus Kenta Kobashi.
Oh my God!
As a match,
that is
ROH.
Ooh, it's a big old brawly brawl. The strikes in that are it looks very real.
It's a gruesome affair, and in the best possible way. So congratulations, Samoa Joe. You deserve it. Clap, 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 clap. More on our top story of Stone Cold Steve Austin possibly returning to the ring at WrestleMania over at Cultaholic.com, and more news throughout the day at YouTube.com/Cultaholic too. Stay safe. Keys.
Give me a hell yeah!
Nice.